Hey everybody, welcome to the Thursday Skag. For those who don't know us, I am Mikey, he is Justice, and for those who do, where's your coffee cup? And then there's two. So
and I'm drinking water.
Okay. Holier than thou.
Right.
So we don't have Keyshawn and Kyle for today, but here we are, two Scorpio. So we are here during Leo season. We still, we out here. But yeah, so we're just gonna dive into it. So what you got, Justice?
So tonight, since today is Thursday, tonight Oprah is dropping something major.
And what is it?
Beyonce is dropping Black is King on Disney Plus. It is the visual album to Lion King's The Gift album, which was executive produced and curated by Beyonce, and as well, she performed it, of course. And she's giving you a visual album, and it's about to be dope. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Image.
Yeah.
And what is it making this movie? Black is King, and Black is still king, and always have been and always will be. I love her so much because she embraced heritage, embraced the ancestors, embraced how did we get to how we are today. But Black is King. We're streaming only on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They're not paying me, but Disney Plus, if you hear me, or B, if you hear me. You know what? Don't send me a check. This is for the advancement of my people. Black is King, stream it. Show to your young Black boys, your young Black girls. Black is King. Be there, we swear.
Most definitely. I was reading in the comments how they were saying how Beyonce's feeding us every year. Because, every year lately, for the past 2 years, she's been feeding us with. Because around last year, she debuted her Netflix film from the homecoming from Coachella. So that was the talk of the town. And now this year
didn't the album come out last year?
That too? No, I think
that's this visual album based on came out last year. Which means Coachella is the year before that.
It was, yes.
But Homecoming on Netflix.
Right, it was that year.
And the year before that is actually the Coachella that she did.
Yes. No, 2018 was Coachella. 2019, she debuted her Netflix film about Coachella Homecoming and Lion King. So the girl got coins. She was doing big projects.
Got it.
And then on this
year. The beginning of the year, what was at the end of the year?
And I think that was, but no, Lion King was during the summer. Time goes so fast. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, we're already in July, guys. Like, tomorrow's the last day of July, so August is on Saturday. So it's just, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't, because it's just, we're 4 more months till 2020 is over. So whoever, do what you guys can do for the rest of the year, because time is going fast.
Okay. So yes, Black is King. Go stream it, because I will be. But Mikey, I heard you wanted to switch up things a little bit.
Yes,
out of your brain.
So lately, I'm not a politic type of person. I'm really not. I'm not really into politics. But lately, I've been just being very well informed by it. So I came across this interview that Oprah did 1998, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And if you guys go to her channel, I believe it was 2 weeks that she posted it by now. And one of the interviews that she did was Thomas Jefferson. Well, relatives. She interviewed relatives from Thomas Jefferson. And if you guys don't know about this situation, I knew about it, but I was more informed about it. I was very fascinated by the story. And as you guys can see, so you guys know that Thomas Jefferson is one of the founding fathers of the United States, who for 2,000 years, this story has been published that he had relations with one of his slaves, Sally Hemings. Now, the reason why this story is so big is because we do know that, these founding fathers and these slave owners have had relations with, if not quote unquote rape, because it is a touchy subject, but they have done those type of sexual activities. So the reason why this is such a big story, because one, he's the third president of the United States. And fast forward to now that there are descendants from Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson who is speaking up about how they are, especially that we're in a movement right now, they are saying how he is our grandfather, and that some of Sally Hemings, even Sally Hemings' descendants, are white. They look nothing, right? They look nothing. They look apart from the African American or Black community. So basically, what attracted me from this story was direct descendants from Martha, who is originally Thomas Jefferson's wife. Sorry, Jefferson's wife. So some descendants from Martha does not want Sally descendants to have their own place to lie in the Monticello Associates, even organization in which slaves built. So Sally Hemings' descendants are like, no, but why should we not be part of? Like, why are people ignoring the fact that we are Thomas Jefferson's descendants, even though we are different color? Why are we not part of the conversation? Because even some people from the Monticello associations, they want to have DNA testing from Sally Hemings and not from Martha Jefferson's descendants. So
they just assumed. I'm sorry. So they just assumed that the Thomas Jefferson descendants are Thomas Jefferson descendants, but they're not assuming.
Right.
Okay, I'm with it. Okay.
Yeah. So they because in order for you to, it's a lot of in-depth, and I'll keep on going with the details because it's gaggy, guys. Like, this is even some like incest shit, because apparently Martha is originally Thomas Jefferson's third cousin, right? She died. Now I'm going to the tea. Okay, wait, let me go back to the I'm going to the tea. Okay, so history lesson went out the door. So Martha is originally Thomas Jefferson's third cousin. So they have children together, right? Martha passed away. Martha told Thomas Jefferson, when I pass away, I don't want you to be with no other woman. I could barely bear it, quote unquote. That's what she said. But girl, you dead, so I don't know how that's gonna work. So she, right. So
you also allow a former first lady like that?
Who's the first lady? So she. I mean, I'm saying Sally Hemings should have been the first African American lady, but it's neither here nor there during that time, technically. So, Martha, so she passed away. She doesn't want Thomas Jefferson to be with another woman. I'm gonna say like a few months later, he goes to Paris, and he was attracted to Sally Hemings. And I'm just gonna give a little background from Sally Hemings. She is biracial. Her father is white, and her mother is a slave, Black female. The gag is Martha and Sally are half sisters. Okay. So once John Wales, right? So he passed away.
No, I'm with you. I'm seeing. Okay, I'm remembering the story now. I remember the story, but now it's coming back to me. It's hitting me now. Okay, come on.
So they, so after John Wales passed away, which is both Sally and Martha's father, he decides to give Sally and Jefferson the rest of the slaves, and obviously the rest of the slaves would be Sally Hemings. So Sally Hemings was the youngest of all of John Wales' children. So she was 13 at the time. So she had, obviously, so when Martha passed away, she had some, Thomas and Sally had sexual intercourse and breeded 6 more children. And so what I found it interesting with this story was the fact that people were denying that Thomas Jefferson ever had a sexual relations with a slave, and on top of that, denying that one of the founding fathers' grandson and daughter are African American. So my question to you, Justin, because you are into history.
Yes.
What do you think about people denying from where they're come from, especially no matter how much
Listen,
we have gone through?
When it comes to this, I'm gonna say this very clearly to all the Americans in the building. If you're white or black, if you're not directly from a non-enslaved country or at one point who was once enslaved, it's very rare that you're not mixed with white. And for white people, it's very rare that you're not mixed with black, because your ancestors raped and pillaged not only a number of countries, but mostly African countries. And then the slaves had children. At one point, they used to breed our women in this country like cattle. So we could produce enough slaves so we're able to pick cotton so we can match the cotton gin. Stop playing with me. There have to be a way that we're all mixed in together. There's no way that we're not. Unless you're from like the earlier liberated countries such as Haiti. And even still in Haiti, you still have very light-skinned people because of the mixing of it all. And also because there's just light-skinned Asians. Because that's a whole nother, that's the science part. But as for everything else. So I'm not shocked when people say they don't, well, when people of non-color say, I don't have any black in my family. That's humanly impossible. If your family was in America during slavery, especially with a number of slave masters that raped, overseas that raped and sexually assaulted the black woman. This is why we say we got to protect our black women, period. Because since the beginning of time, beginning for a very long time, black women have been under attack. In a number of ways. Coming to the modern times, black women have been under attack. Attacked by white men. So don't forget, there used to be hospitals in America that used to tell women that they're coming there for a pap smear, or they're coming there for their yearly checkup, and then sterilize our black women also later on in American history. There's numerous times where we see that they want to deny that you have some black in you. I'm sorry. Blame on your ancestors. Don't blame it on us. Don't say that's not true. No, it is true. You can look up at any history books in the lie sometimes. But there's some facts that cannot just be denied. We know this for a fact. We can have DNA tests. This is factual information. Honey, when our founding fathers
who wrote the Declaration of Independence
forcefully, or maybe Science agrees sometimes that they did have several kids together, several kids. But also Jefferson has several kids, doesn't he? By several different slaves.
In the total, he has 12 to 13 kids. I'm not sure.
And
just only 2 of them. Right, only 2 of them was identified that they were from Sally Hemings, that they were both identified from Jefferson. The rest, I don't know, but one of them is named Thomas, so I don't know how that works. But I don't know. But my thing is, I agree. Obviously, I feel like I'm being redundant with the whole, we all come from the same place. Because the white community is not going to get that we all came from one place.
I want to say all of them, a large amount of them.
Let me rephrase, yes, most of them. But when I was looking at the interview, the funny part was that the interview that the people that from Martha's descendants that Oprah was interviewing, they didn't deny it. They said they want descendants from Sally Hemings to, when they pass away, to have their grave in the Monticello, because they are part of the family. And evidently, they're all family compared from Thomas Jefferson, who's third cousins with Martha, who have sister Sally Hemings. So technically, Thomas and Sally Hemings could be partly related, because they also interviewed, Oprah also interviewed descendants from Sally Hemings that are white, because she is confused. You guys gotta go see that interview, because it's actually really interesting, because like I said, when it's a 40-minute interview, but what attracted me was just the fact that, like, one, our founding fathers was like, come on now, like, you're having sexual relations with a slave who wrote the Declaration of Independence that correlated to slavery. But Sally told him, if we have our kids by 21, I don't want them to be slaves. So in my mind, I'm just like, people were also saying, were they in love or was it rape? Because people also question on that.
I believe it's probably a little bit of both. It probably started off as a rape. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wasn't there.
Okay.
I don't know that history because it could be tainted. And it still could be tainted. Even though we know the truth now, it's probably a whole lot more to that story that we still just will never know.
We will never know because also when that story came out, they covered it. His kids were like, no, that's not true. Like the reporters at the time, were writing in the newspaper that Jefferson was hooking up with a slave, Sally Hemings. So that was also a story that was happening that they were trying to deny. But now that's coming out that his descendants are like, oh, I'm a grandchild. Like what comes around goes around. Like it's things like that. That's why y'all gotta be careful who you dealing with, because 200 years from now, those are your grandkids. Like
yeah, grandkids.
Right. So as a Latino, I wish I could see who was my grandmother and grandfather, because for us, and that's why it also attracted me in my story, because in my community, not a lot can say that, oh, this is my grandfather, just because we don't have no track. I'm going to speak for Honduras itself, that we don't have no track of who's our grandparents. I only know my grandma and my grandpa from both sides, but other than that, it's crickets. Like, I don't know who is my... For me, I think my parents, they're both... My dad knows who his grandma is, but he doesn't know who his grandma's parent is. And just because I think we are not interested in who's our family members, I guess, like we don't talk about it as generations come down, just because I feel like compared to like I think Kyle the other day, he was trying to find who was his relatives, he was doing his research, right? And that's why I wish he was here, because I feel like he could have elaborated out how his experience. But with me, I wish I could track to who are my relatives in Honduras, but like Honduras is not a country where it's so easy to do those type of situations. There's not a lot of access and sources to be like, oh, I want to find who's my grandma, who's my grandfather, because one of my grandfathers could be the president of Honduras at one point, like, or the you know what I mean? And it's and especially that we're all mixed race in Honduras, like we go from different shades and colors, like, so, but yeah, that's what I gotta say. Everybody gotta know that we all came from the one place, and we're not saying it's as cliche as it sounds, because it sounds so cliche when people say we all came from the same place, but we really do, because at this point, even our founding fathers were dying and bopping at the time. Child, I'm telling you, that like I said, that's why the stories are very interesting, because it's like you will never think what you're doing, especially that you talked about it, how men lead, because these leaders are men, and people glorify these leaders, icons. Even I read it that he's an icon to Republicans, and how he did the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, A, B, C, and D, but evidently your president was doing the Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. So
But also, you can't forget though, that's a different time though. Everyone was, not everyone, but many of the slave owners was raping their slaves. Like that was like the thing. Even though that was a time of change, it's also that was a thing around that. Sadly,
it is, because I was like, it come to mind. I was just like, it's crazy
how times have changed. It changed so much between Bill Clinton and them, how we look at presidents, and we have changed how we looked at this country within the last.
Like we wouldn't be surprised if something like this happens. Like we won't even be surprised.
Oh, you won't be shocked. Like, oh yeah. Well, the slave part would be the problem, but
No, yes,
Well, apparently it's not that much of a problem because the current person that's in there already have several allegations on them. So
history repeats itself. Right. Well, everybody, that is my little gag history. But we're going to transition to Justice again. But this time, what you got today, Justice?
Well, I just want to shout out somebody. They're new to the scene, supposedly from Mobile, Alabama. Her name is FLO, MILLI. She just came out with a album. Some people say it's a mixtape. I'm not exactly sure. But Missy said the song "Weak" is the song, and she did really well on this EP/album, whatever you want to call it. So I listened to "Weak." The song is great. I'm working on the album. Some of my friends are saying the album is good, so we'll see what's going on. I listened to like 4 songs. The song's been good so far, but I haven't gotten through yet. But she got a little bop. She from Mobile, Alabama. It's nice to hear rappers from different female rappers from different parts of the country. Because you got your New York. That's all right. So this is my thing with her music. I like her music. She's just not rough enough for me. But I think it's because I'm from the Northeast. And our rappers are much more like aggressive. Hardcore. But it's dope though because she's gonna cater to a different audience, I would say. And people like Megan Thee Stallion fans like her too. Like they bops. I can't lie. One's from Alabama. It's she got it going on. Go stream it. I don't tell y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
And you heard it from here first because
MILLI.
Right, because sometimes I actually something is gonna pop up.
The name of her album is Why Is You Here?
Hey, y'all. Stream Why Is You Here? Where I've seen her before.
Yeah, she's known because of TikTok. Her first 2 songs, well, not first 2, the first 2 songs that we know her by are, what are they called again? I cannot remember. FLO Mix and In the Party. And they both was like on TikTok, and people on TikTok were doing it. And it was like a trend. So now she has the EP or album out. Week is the song. That's my song for the rest of the summer. For at least August, Week. And another song, I'm telling everybody my business, and I don't like sharing my personal playlist with people. Y'all are. Lockdown by Innocent Park. Innocent Park, the way in which he crafts his music is so culturally aware, very protestant. Woke. I was trying to not use that word, but yeah, it's woke. It's woke. So that's a good song. Lockdown by Anderson Park. So we do, and then you got Black is King, a movie to listen to. The reason why I'm giving you suggestions is because this is my last Thursday's gag with you all.
The gag is.
And the gag is.
And the gag is. Yes, everyone. Yeah, so today is Justice's last episode, but it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later. But yeah, Justice, but I do just want to say that I do appreciate you for participating in my channel for the month of July. Obviously, you're not here, you're here for a reason. We've known each other for the past 2 years, so it's a see you later, guys. So I'm happy that Justice participated, but this comes to an end of this episode, guys.
Happy that I joined the Thursday's gag, though. Where is your coffee cup?
Where's your coffee cup? And stay tuned for the month of, stay tuned for the month of August. I'm bringing a different category. I'm not going to say nothing yet, but I'm bringing a different category to my channel, so stay tuned for that. And thank you for the love and support that people have given us for the month of July. You guys don't understand. We will get better as time goes through. Trust me, I will give you credit when credit is due. So I'll remember each one of them who's been supporting us. Because I'm not here. I'm here for a reason, y'all. But yeah, guys. So is there anything you want to say, Justice?
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. It has been a blast on a Thursday's gag, honey. And thank you. It's time for me to get back to my day job.
Okay, and that's there you go.
Getting to you, honey. So we're not doing the same problems over and over again.
Yeah, guys. Bye, everyone. And yeah, so bye, everyone. Thank you for the love and support. Yeah.